Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today we're diving deep into a fascinating piece. File systems, the original hypermedia. It's a provocative argument, isn't it? Intriguing.
Absolutely. The core idea that file systems predate the web as a form of hypermedia is quite a bold claim. I'm eager to hear how this is supported.
Right. The author argues that HTML, influenced heavily by print media, missed a crucial opportunity. Think about it. HTML's emphasis on layout and formatting, driven by SGML's print heritage, created a messy, inconsistent hypermedia experience.
So instead of focusing on the semantic structure of information, like a file system does, HTML got bogged down in aesthetics?
Precisely. The author points out how seemingly simple HTML tags, like heading levels, H1 to H6, and A, reflect print conventions, D. These seemingly innocent choices paved the way for the complexities of CSS and the constant revisions of HTML itself.
I see. It's almost like a case of technological determinism, where the design choices of the past constrained the future.
Exactly. The author contrasts this with other media like photography or film. A photograph is inherently a rectangular array of pixels. Its medium is stable. But web hypermedia, as we know it, is constantly evolving, reinventing itself with each new technology.
But isn't that a strength? The adaptability of the web is what makes it so powerful, right?
That's a great point. The author acknowledges the versatility of the web, but argues that this constant evolution comes at a cost. It creates barriers to accessibility and makes independent content creation incredibly complex. It's a double-edged sword.
So, the author proposes file systems as a better model? How does that work?
The author suggests that file systems, with their inherent hierarchical structure and multimedia capabilities, already embody the core principles of hypermedia as defined by Theodore Nelson back in 1965. Directories are the multidimensional aspect, files are the multimedia.
Interesting. But file systems aren't exactly user-friendly for browsing complex information, are they?
That's where the author introduces a crucial point. They argue that a simple enhancement, the ability to inline render files within the File Explorer, along with a clear ordering system, would transform the file system into a powerful, intuitive hypermedia platform.
I get it. So instead of needing separate browsers and applications for different media types, everything would be integrated.
Exactly. This enhanced file system would be inherently universal, focusing on the semantic structure of information rather than its aesthetic presentation. It's a compelling vision.
But wouldn't that eliminate the creative freedom that HTML provides? The ability to design visually stunning websites?
The author argues that creative expression would still be possible, but it wouldn't dictate the underlying structure of the hypermedia. The focus would shift from stylistic concerns to the organization and accessibility of information. It's a shift from form to function.
It's a radical idea, but it makes you think, doesn't it? The author also touches on the digital dark age and the fragility of dynamic web content.
Absolutely. The reliance on constantly updating external systems makes web content incredibly vulnerable to obsolescence. The author argues that this inherent dynamism undermines the longevity of online information. A sobering thought.
And the author's discussion of hierarchies is fascinating too. They challenge the common notion that hierarchies are inadequate for representing complex information.
Yes. The author points out that while Tim Berners-Lee dismissed hierarchical systems in his early work, the web itself is fundamentally built upon them. It's a complex interplay of hierarchical and non-linear structures.
It's a really thought-provoking piece. It challenges our assumptions about the web and its evolution.
Indeed. It's a great example of how seemingly simple design choices can have profound and lasting consequences. Thanks for joining us on Tech Bytes and News. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of hypermedia. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.